Hey everybody, welcome to another video review by cigarfellas.com. My name is Moose. I'm going to be doing a video review today. And today, well, besides the way I'm dressed, just got done playing around on the jet skis on the lake, and man, I was just kind of whipped, and I was like, man, I'm really looking forward to coming in and doing a cigar review, so here I am. Today, we are going to be doing the Cigar. For those of you that are not familiar with this cigar, this was a cigar that was specially blended by Tatuaje exclusively for the CIGWAR BQ. You've all heard of the band CIGWAR. If you haven't, look them up. They're actually pretty interesting characters. This was, like I said, a cigar that was actually specially blended for the CIGWAR BQ. This is the cigar itself. It is approximately Robusto size. I would say it is a Robusto, but they were very limited. I just happened to get my hands on a few boxes, and so I'm going to review it. So some of you may or may not have heard of this cigar. Some of you may be like, what the, how do you get all this junk? And it's like, you know, you gotta know people. But nah, I'm just giving you guys a hard time. There was a few that were made available, and some of us were lucky enough to get a hold of some. So I was not at the CIGWAR BQ, I just happened to get a hold of some. So all in all, I did smoke one of these before this. This one itself, I actually let dry box for a little bit. I thought the other one, the first one, was a little wet. Not a big deal, just that was me. I had smoked it when I had first gotten them, so who knows how they were packaged, you know, to survive a barbecue in the middle of summer. So I kind of let this one set for about a week, and let's talk about it. So it is a closed foot. This thing is actually pretty well crafted. I would not expect anything less from Tatuaje. It does appear to be a triple cap. The wrapper itself actually kind of shimmers. It's got like a glitter about it. It's really interesting. It's really hard to see. I'm sure you guys are not picking this up on the camera, but literally it looks like it was kind of glitterized. The cigar itself, just kind of sniffing on it, just kind of smells, I don't know, like tobacco. No real prominent smells at this point. Take a drink there. And very nice. I'm actually looking forward to the second one now that it's had a little bit of time to dry box. So I am going to use my Cigar MX or MTX tool. I'm just going to shave off just a bit of the cap. Obviously, I'm not going to get a lot of draw. It is a closed foot. I'm going to use my Cigar Loom. Now I'm just going to go ahead and start toasting her up here. Some kind of toast we can get going. Try to bring this in so I can get a little bit of whiff of the aroma. Real hearty aroma. It's a very earthy and woodsy at the same time. Which kind of reminds me of the outdoors. Like I said, very hearty. Very nice retrohale in that. I got a lot of black pepper, but not like your typical slap you in the face kind of black pepper. You know, sometimes with the Tatuajes, I get that real major burst of pepper right in the beginning. This is a little bit more mild. It was still there. Definitely wasn't, you know, what I guess people might say your grandma's cigar, but very medium to medium full bodied in my mouth. Retrohale is more of a medium to medium full, or actually I should say medium full kind of flavor. So far, just like I would expect. So let me smoke a little bit more of this down and we'll be right back with more of this CIGWAR. Hey everybody, welcome back. So here we are. We're about a third of the way through this CIGWAR, and you know, one thing that I was noticing as I was kind of sitting here and thinking about this, and I actually got into a V-herf with some other friends, and come to find out that shimmering or that light dusting is actually caused from, and I didn't realize this until I'd smoked down, and actually I had a huge ash on this, and right as I stood up to come turn the camera back on, it fell off and I was kind of bummed out, but it's actually caused from excess fertilizer. Now you think, you know, fertilizer and things like that, but you know, it's not your typical fertilizer. It's actually caused from potassium in the fertilizer that gives it that kind of shimmery look. And in the cigar world, the reason for the fertilizer is to actually protect the plants from damage by disease, you know, some insects, things like that. So that's the purpose behind that, but that is what I ended up finding out. But the cigar itself has a really unique kind of oaky, like a creamy oaky taste on my palate. The retrohale itself is actually very pleasant now. Not that it wasn't, but just very smooth, entertaining. I'm really looking forward to giving these about 6 months, revisiting it, and seeing what I think about it then. But all in all, so far, a very delightful cigar. The retrohale has a tad of maybe some white and black pepper mix now. It's very creamy in the retrohale as well. It's actually went from that medium full to a very medium bodied flavor or flavor. The body is still in that medium to full. It's just very hearty, very meaty, kind of just real robust. Very delicious. But yeah, all in all, I would say, listen, if you guys get your hands on one of these, you're going to want to try it out. My recommendation at this particular point is to give it a little bit more time before you decide to smoke it. If you happen to have some of these and you're like, hey, I want to see what somebody else thinks, give it just a little bit of time. I think it could use a couple of months just to open up its bouquet. Not that it's a bad cigar, not that it's bitter or you know, it's not full of ammonia or anything like that. It's just knowing from the past what I've seen. Like I said, I think a little bit of time is really going to make a difference in this. But let me smoke down to just past the band. We'll come back with some final thoughts on this CIGWAR, and you guys stay tuned. Welcome back. So here we are. We're at the end of our CIGWAR, and let me just tell you, man, I was sitting here looking at this box. This is a really cool box, man. It's just really interesting. All the raised artwork on it and the foil and stuff. It's just really cool, man. I'm actually really impressed with all of the intricate artwork on it. But and the band is just as cool. I mean, these bands are really interesting. Nice foily wrapper or band, and it's just, man, just the really precision artwork that goes into just the band is really cool. And the work that went into the cigar, it's you know, like I said, I think that a little bit more time on this is exactly what this cigar needs. I heard some other people say that, and the first one that I smoked, like I said, was a little bit wet. I really enjoyed it though. This one, like I said, I dry boxed for about a week. Not necessarily dry, but it was drier for sure. I definitely think that a couple of months, maybe 6 months, I want to revisit this and maybe put out another video review on it. But with that being said, it's still a very hearty cigar. A lot of earth tones, a lot of like that creamy oak that I talked about. Still a little bit of tobacco flavor in there. The retrohale is just so lightened up. It's very creamy and got some very light hints of pepper now. Not a lot, nothing major, nothing that you would expect from your typical Tatuaje cigar. But it is what it is. And I am not disappointed. I just think that it's going to get better. There's other cigars out there that I feel the same way about. And they do get better with age. So I think once this has got a little bit of, sleep time on it, I think it's going to be an absolutely superb cigar. So listen, for the future, you guys can continue to check us out at www.cigarfellas.com. You can continue to check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/cigarfellas. You can always follow us on Twitter, Cigarfellas, or at Cigarfellas. You can follow us on Instagram, Cigarfellas as well. Want to give a shout out to Cigar. Definitely keep up the good work. You guys are coming out with some excellent stuff. And I hope to be bringing you some more of their stuff as well in the future soon. I want to give a big shout out to Tatuaje and the SNS Club. Just, man, you guys are, what a great community. I want to give a shout out to cigarsforwarriors.org. Listen, there is a big thing going on right now through Famous Famous Cigar Shop, and they've got this really interesting thing going. It's kind of like the Ice Bucket Challenge, but in turn, what you're supposed to do is shoot a short clip of yourself, and you're supposed to give a big shout out, and then call some other people out to shoot videos of themselves. I'm actually going to do mine tonight, and we're going to see how far this goes, but hopefully it'll turn out pretty cool. But the idea is to bring awareness to cigarsforwarriors.org. You guys, if you've been watching my videos, you guys, and you haven't had a chance, listen, just stop for a moment and think. If you've never been in the military, you've never been overseas, you've never been away from your family, just imagine what it would feel like to be overseas somewhere and be over there for 9-10 months, maybe a year, whatever their deployment time is, and just realize how important it would be, or how good you'd feel if all of a sudden one day a box of cigars show up. And maybe some of those guys aren't cigar smokers, but the point is that they're actually receiving something from all of us, telling them, hey, we haven't forgotten about you, and we miss you guys, and we want you guys to come home. So any little bit that you can do, man, 5 cigars, 1 cigar, $10, whatever, it doesn't matter. Check them out, cigarsforwarriors.org. See what they're all about. I'm telling you, it's the least that we can do for our troops being overseas and defending or fighting against all these radicalists out there that need to go. Most of you guys know I'm very conservative. But one thing I'm not conservative about is the use of force to remove these people. I don't believe in war. There should be any rules. It's us against them. So those are my thoughts, not yours. But nonetheless, keep that in mind. To the men and women of our armed forces, come home safe. Can't wait to see more of you guys coming home. And hopefully we'll be able to someday sit down and enjoy a cigar together. And don't forget, you guys can always write and let me know if you guys got some questions or whatever. Moose at cigarfellas.com. We'll catch you guys next time here at Cigarfellas.